Hey guys, Blade Mango here, and today I'm going to be talking about the next episode in Mandalorian's second season, Chapter 10, The Passenger. So, I mentioned last time with Chapter 9 that when I watched it for the first time, I felt very disappointed in how it turned out. And it took me a second viewing of it to come around to liking it. And even then, I didn't love it. I don't even think Chapter 9 is very good. I don't think it matches even the mid-tier episodes of Season 1. It was more like a weaker episode. I don't even think Chapter 9 was... In hindsight, I don't think Chapter 9 was better or even matched any of the episodes from Season 1. It was just plain good. Now, Chapter 10, on the other hand, after two viewings, I can confidently say that this is easily the worst episode of The Mandalorian so far. This episode is just... I honestly don't even know where the show is going at this point. And look, I get it. It's two episodes into a new season. I get it, but... I just don't understand what the show is doing now. What is the main driving force behind it exactly now? And even as a filler episode, which this episode was a filler one, I don't think it even matched the best filler episodes of Season 1. I don't think, like, the Prisoner episode in Season 1 is a filler episode. That almost has nothing to do with what happens in later on in the finale. But it was at least really enjoyable. It was a lot of fun. And I don't think Chapter 10 was really all that fun at all. It has its moments. It has some good moments here and there. But overall, it's just such a weak episode. I don't know what... I don't even know what the show is doing right now. I really just don't get it. And... So, I guess I'll start with the good, because there are a few things that I do like about it. And I forgot to mention this last time, but these videos are all going to be spoiler-filled, so if you haven't watched The Mandalorian new episode, and you don't want it spoiled for you, just don't watch this. So, here you go. I liked the opening scene. I thought that was fun. I thought that was going to be a nice little indicator of what the episode was going to do. Maybe it was going to be, he has to get out of Tatooine or Mos Eisley, and he has to deal with these criminals, maybe something like that. That would be fun. I liked the ice spiders a lot. I thought those were really cool. The escape scene from them was exciting, and reminded me a lot of the scene in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which is a personal favorite of mine in the series. I like that Mando is able to get out of the terrible situation he's in at the end because of the good choices he made back in the Prisoner episode. And I think it's a really good idea to bring long-reaching consequences into this series because it makes it feel more epic and expansive. I like the puppetry, of course. Baby Yoda does a lot more in this episode compared to the last episode, and the puppetry on him never ceases to amaze me. I think Amy Sedaris is better in this episode compared to the last one. Her dialogue isn't as off-putting as the last time. And I like the design of the Frog Lady. I think that's a really cool alien design. And that's really about it. I guess my big sticking point with this episode is that I don't think it's really all that good on both character or action level, at least. There's nothing really all that inspiring about it. It's just kind of a flat line through most of it, except the opening and the spider stuff. All the rest of the stuff is just, oh look, Mando's ship gets damaged again. Oh look, Baby Yoda is doing this thing again. Oh look, Mando has to deal with this situation again. And it's not even a fun, enjoyable situation. It's just kind of a, oh, well, we've already done this before, so, And I was hoping that maybe this episode would be kind of a character development, not for Mando, but for Baby Yoda. Because there's a running gag in this episode where Baby Yoda is obsessed with the frog lady's eggs. And he likes eating them. And the problem is that the frog lady's eggs are her children. And that's the whole point with Mando getting them across the sector without using the hyperdrive. But Baby Yoda's obsession with those eggs stops being funny after a while. And it comes more across as some kind of mean-spirited joke. And I think it would work, though, if it had stopped after he eats the spider egg. Because Baby Yoda, he just comes across as an asshole in this episode. And not a cute one. And I think this episode would have had payoff if Baby Yoda... He eats 2 of the frog eggs, and then he eats the spider egg when they see it, and that's what gets him in trouble, because he opens the spider egg and starts eating it's really gross when he starts eating the spider, and that's what wakes up all the other spiders, and the giant one comes after them. And I thought after he ate the spider and realized that he almost got them all killed, that Baby Yoda would stop. I thought this would be a really good moment for Baby Yoda, where he would grow as a character. And there's a moment at the end where I almost thought that's what they were going to do, and I think that's what would have made this episode special, because when he's looking at the frog lady in the end, I thought he was going to just look at her with some kind of compassion and understanding, and maybe grow as a character. You can see it, maybe see it in his eyes, that he doesn't, he understands why he should not be eating her eggs. But then Baby Yoda, like, all that potential character development is just completely thrown out the window in the final shot when he eats the frog egg. He grabs the third one and he eats it. And I don't understand what the point of that was, other than some kind of mean-spirited joke. Because that gag did not land at all. Like, I think Favreau was trying to make it land. It just came across as cruel. It wasn't funny at all, and it just left a sour taste in my mouth at the end of the episode, because I was hoping that would be a character. I was hoping this would be a character development moment for Baby Yoda. That would have made this whole little filler episode worth it, to see some growth for Baby Yoda. But it's not, because they just completely undo it all at the end. And again, it's shocking that Favreau wrote this episode. This is the second episode in a row that can't hold a candle to even the very good episodes of season 1, let alone the great ones. It's so bizarre. There's just so many bizarre little choices in this. I just don't understand why they had to do this thing yet again where the ship is damaged and it crashes. I don't understand why we have to have these like really awkward appearances by the TIE fighters, the X-Wing pilots. They just came across as strange, and then when they rescue him at the end, they just leave him there, and that's it? How did they even find him? I don't know. So, I just didn't really find it all that interesting or entertaining. It has its moments, but it just was so weak. It was just so underwhelming and weak in most areas. And I've seen a lot of people go, oh, well, it's a filler episode. We're going to get to the good stuff, guys. Okay. I said, even as a filler episode, this one is not very good. It's very weak compared to what's come before. There have been filler episodes in season 1 that are some of my favorite episodes. The Village episode, for example. Besides meeting Cara Dune, it's really not all that noteworthy in the long scheme of things, but it provides really great character moments for each of these characters that we grow to love. But that's not in The Passenger. And in fact, it just completely undoes a lot of potential growth for Baby Yoda. Mando doesn't really learn anything. He just learns, be nicer to the X-Wing pilots. Okay. And then, again, I like that the choices that he made in the Prisoner episode help him out in the end. I think that's really good. But that has nothing to do with this episode. It's something that he does earlier. That's good character development in that Prisoner episode. We're just seeing the consequences of it later. We're not seeing any actual character development for Mando. And after these last 2 episodes, I just think the writers are starting to lose sight of the main driving force behind this show. they've just been really underwhelming. I don't understand. I'm just completely shocked that Favreau has been involved as the writer for both of these episodes, and they just do not hit the mark at all. I hope to God that the show just dramatically picks up in quality after this. I feel like my fear of season 1 being a lightning in a bottle situation is starting to become realized, because I feel like this is a completely different show from the last one. Even from just simply the writing perspective, I feel like the writing in the first episode and the atmosphere just popped so much. It just had such a bite and so much like inventiveness and class. And this, to me, is slowly dipping its toe into the snarky, annoying stuff that I don't like about the sequel trilogy. Which, that is the last thing that I want Mandalorian to turn into. I do not want this to become the sequel trilogy. But when Baby Yoda has that moment at the end where he swallows the egg after everything they went through, I just felt so just like disgusted. Like almost, I know that sounds harsh, but I just thought, ugh, like what a waste. What a waste of potential for this episode to mean something in the grand scheme of things. You could probably literally take this whole episode out and it wouldn't mean anything. I'm willing to bet that aside from maybe 1 or 2 references in there, small references in this episode will not matter at all in the grand scheme of things. When all 8 episodes are finally out, this passenger episode, it will be so disposable compared to the rest. And I guess where we're going is that Mando finds a new Mandalorian, society on some planet or something. And considering that the series is only 8 episodes, the season is only 8 episodes, and the fact that we have to wait each week for them now, it kind of doesn't really justify how they feel like filler. And I used to complain about that a lot with Avatar: The Last Airbender, but when I rewatched Avatar: The Last Airbender, I enjoyed most of those filler episodes so much that I didn't mind. But again, those seasons in Avatar: The Last Airbender were 26 episodes. 26 per book. This is 8 per season. They cannot be doing this weak filler stuff. If you want to have filler, they need to make damn sure that it's great. They need to make damn sure that it's super enjoyable and engaging and inventive and, make these characters grow. But something like this that is just kind of like stuck in neutral and just it's nothing. It's just like this episode was just like an excuse to open the Disney Plus app and stare at something for 30 minutes. It just feels like wheel spinning. So that was really disappointing. I hope to God, like I said, I hope to God next week is better. I want to come back next week and say, wow, this new episode was great. It was worth the wait for these last 2 weeks of kind of episodes, or especially this one. But man, this new episode's so fucking great. I love it. I can't wait for more. I want an episode. I at least want one episode in this to hit the high mark that season 1 brought. Just one. Just have one. Preferably the final episode. I'd prefer it be that one, but just one. I just want one to reignite the magic. But so far in this season, even though the last week's I thought was good, it was decent. I'm beginning to lose faith in this show. It's just something about it feels off, and I don't know what it is. I just sense something is just off about this second season. I wonder if, in hindsight, maybe in a year from now when we get the 3rd season, maybe this will be the one that's like the sophomore slump, and then they get back on track with the 3rd season. I don't know. I won't know that at least for another year and couple weeks, but so far, I don't know about this new season, guys. I gotta be honest. Alright, so that'll be it for this week, and I will see you all next week for what is hopefully a really great new Mandalorian episode. Bye, everyone.